I'm Brad Hoffman. I'm the Vice President of Engineering and R&D. I've been with Tanknology for just a little bit over 28 years. Before that, I worked for Exxon as a field engineer. So I'm responsible for the research and engineering and the safety and the quality and many other things at the corporate office. The TankCam was a creation that we really used to supplement our Petroscope video inspection service. We've been doing Petroscope inspections for almost 30 years. It was originally a way to investigate the inside of a steel tank to determine if it was eligible for cathodic protection to protect it from corrosion in the environment. After that, we used Petroscope for periodic inspections of linings that had been installed in steel tanks. And it turns out that over a period of time, a residue or film would build up on those linings and sometimes just sludge. So when we put the Petroscope system into a tank, it was very hard to see enough of the surface to determine if the lining was still in good shape. The Petroscope required a lot of preparation. We had to inert the entire tank with carbon dioxide in order for the safe inspection using the Petroscope equipment. So we found out on a number of occasions that we would spend that time inerting the tank, and then once we got the Petroscope camera in the tank, we'd find out that the surfaces were covered with sludge or residue and we couldn't see them. So I thought we could use a simpler camera to do a pre-inspection to make sure that the tank was clean enough to do the Petroscope inspection. And that's really how the TankCam started. And then that was version 1. We're really on version 3 now. We call it the TankCamHD. We've developed several versions, and it has now exceeded the quality of the Petroscope. So we no longer use the Petroscope. We use the TankCam for all types of inspections. We can use the TankCam for a number of purposes. Like I said, originally we used it to determine if the tank was clean enough to see the interior of the tank, whether it's a fiberglass or a steel tank or a steel tank with an epoxy lining. So now we can go in with the TankCam and we can not only see if it's clean, but we can see the condition of that lining. And especially true when we use the HD version of the camera. It's got much better resolution, so we can zoom in through the far parts of the tank. We can see the fine details to see how the tank is holding up. We've noticed over the years there's been some internal degradation of tanks, both fiberglass and steel tanks, for a number of different causes. So we offer this service for conscientious tank owners to investigate their tanks to see if they're fit for continued service. The fiberglass tanks tend to have some reaction, we believe, to the materials that are stored in it, perhaps based on the tanks not being originally designed for the types of fuels that are stored in them today. So we've noticed and recorded many types of degradations, such as blistering and de-lamination and cracking of the fiberglass tanks. For steel tanks, we notice internal corrosion. I mentioned earlier we had pretty much resolved the external corrosion issues with cathodic protection, and now most steel tanks come with an external coating that protects the outside of the tank from corrosion. But if the inside of the tank has moisture or water or sludge, the inside of the tank can be susceptible to corrosion. And that's especially true in tanks storing diesel fuel. There are many uses for the TankCam. One is to check the condition of the fuel inside the tanks, and the fuel quality is ever important these days, especially with the diesel fuel and the new engines that rely on this cleaner burning diesel fuel. So the TankCam is a good tool to inspect the inside of the tank. We can look down through the product in some cases to see if there's any sludge or debris or water bottoms inside the tank. We can assist again with the cleaning of the tank, whether it's the tank clean method, which cleans the walls of the tank, or whether it's the Fuel Pure system, which filters and polishes the fuel. So the TankCam can be used as part of that program to monitor the condition of the fuel as well as the condition of the tank. We don't rest on our laurels. We continue to innovate and to improve our systems so that they remain the best that's available for UST leak detection. We have an engineering and R&D department to make sure that we continue to stay on the cutting edge, and we're using the best equipment available. We're training our technicians with the best practices. We're making sure they are very safe. So again, I'm Brad Hoffman. I would be happy to talk with anyone if you have any questions about any of these things, the engineering, the R&D, safety or quality, please give me a call at any time.